Foreclosures are increasing everywhere around the U.S.
It's spreading.
You see it happening in California, Florida, everywhere, right? It's increasing due to what's going on in the housing market. But we are going to hone in on a couple of areas, or one area in particularly that rose to the second position in the U.S., guys. And we need to go over this area because it explains a lot what's going on in this housing market. And if you've watched my videos previously, you know that I think of this area as being a hot spot, guys. My name is Orlando. Welcome to my channel. Once again, guys, also too, in the description, I have a link where you can get free foreclosure lists, right? You will get a free trial membership underneath foreclosure.com, guys. Go ahead and check in that description where you can keep track of all foreclosure lists. Even if it's not in this particular area, in your area, you can keep lists and continue to know exactly what foreclosures pop up in your area so that maybe you can take advantage of some of these great deals that will be coming down the pike. But let's jump right into it, guys. It says here, Florida's foreclosure starts the second highest in the U.S. Well, you guys know Tampa, Orlando, the whole Florida market is normally one of the biggest. Remember back in 07, 08, Florida got hit hard, guys. It is normally one of the areas that get hit the hardest. It is a destination that a lot of people go to live to because of the weather, because of just, that living on the beach. A lot of seniors are there. So you start seeing there is a lot of money in Florida, and you start to see the housing market, crumble, and you start seeing a lot of foreclosure rates. You start seeing a lot of things that, especially the condo market. We talked about that earlier. You start seeing a lot of these hot spots, Miami, Tampa, Orlando, the prices start going down. But these areas also have the hottest appreciation in the nation, guys. So if they go up really fast, they come down really fast. So Tampa is noted as the second highest foreclosure rate in the nation, guys. It says across the whole United States, foreclosures increased 11% in January. In February also too, guys. Also too, if you look at the current market in April also too, it is still increasing. It says the state with the highest number of foreclosures was California. That's no secret, guys. California, one of my last videos, if you watch that video, it describes what's going on with California. But Florida wasn't far behind at number 2 based on some data. It says February foreclosure activity looks a lot like what we expect to see for at least the next 6 months. Double-digit month-over-month growth, triple-digit year-over-year increases based on this data. Now, does this really surprise me with mortgage rates going up with the pandemic, guys? What people aren't speaking about is the pandemic did a lot of, pushing when it came to forbearance, pushing that money and kind of kicking the can down the road. And individuals took that. They took that by the bull by the horns and said, give me that. That's what I want. And a lot of these guys could not afford these forbearances and they're behind. They either got the loan restructured and took some of those months and redid a loan, or they're stuck in forbearance right now and they have to come up with a lot of money up front now that the forbearance is over when it comes to the pandemic. So how are a lot of these guys going to get the money? They don't know, right? Especially with income still staying at the same level. We aren't seeing income raise, right? We're not seeing any of that happen, guys. In the Sunshine State, where housing costs and inflation are the name of the game, solutions are either out of reach or out of sight. There were 1,527,000 foreclosure starts based on the data, where roughly 1 in every 2,000 homes were foreclosed on, guys. Now, that is significant. It may sound like a drip in the bucket, guys. It may sound very small, but really think about it. 1 household out of 2,000 homes, that is significant, guys. That is really, really, really significant. Because what does that really tell you? That tells you that you're starting to see things crumble. With inflation happening and individuals paying increased costs when it comes to gas and food and everything going up. Now, let's say you got a fixed rate mortgage, but your insurance is going up, but you also have to pay for gas. You have to also pay for maintenance on your home that has went up 20, 30, 40%. Now, let's talk about individuals deciding that they wanted to move industries in their jobs, right? So let's say someone, this was the biggest time where people decided, I don't want to do this anymore. And they went to a different industry. Now, if you did that, and let's just say you went into a beginner's job, you took a pay cut. Now things are higher with inflation, and all of a sudden you cannot afford your home anymore because increased costs. And you have to work your way in that field to a higher position or just to meet where you were before. That happens. I've seen clients talk about this all day, and I haven't seen anyone really talk about that. People are in this time frame have decided that they are done with their job. They want to start becoming an entrepreneur. They want to start doing XYZ. They don't want to work in this industry anymore, and they want to work in this industry. And you just can't move from one industry to another and not take a pay cut or some type of discrepancy other than what you had at your other job as far as a gap. And I'm seeing a lot of that. But you understand that you still have all of these expenses, including everything we just talked about. In Jacksonville, 1 in every 2,452 housing units were foreclosed on. In Orlando, 1 out of 2,655, while Florida ranked second highest number of foreclosures. In February, it says, according to the U.S., 39 states and the District of Columbia all saw foreclosure frequency increase by 40%, guys. 40% increase in foreclosures across the U.S. Now, if this isn't a red flag sign, guys, to you guys, if you don't see that there is no reason for you to overpay, let's say it together, do not overpay on homes. Now, if you don't see a reason why you shouldn't overpay and all of these red flags are coming up, increase of 40% nationwide, increase, Florida is the second highest foreclosure state in the U.S. You start to see all of these things that we talk about looking at these key signs, looking at the past and saying, what? That happened back then, and that is happening now. But I thought we were supposed to be having the strongest economy ever right now. Everything is continuing to go up. We have a downturn coming in stock prices, continually to still come back around, go down, come back up, recover. Why are all these things happening? Why is it the fact that prices are still creeping up, come down, but then creep right back up? How are all of these things happening when income has not increased, but all of a sudden inflation is through the roof? We also have interest rates going up higher and higher and higher, over 5% now. Now, guys, listen here. When I tell you, when the Fed increases in May, get ready for another increase in rates. We are going to see 6.5% by the end of the year. That is my prediction. Now, is that fact? Of course not. It's prediction. That is my prediction. I already predicted we were going to be at 5.5% after this rate increase. I'm close to it. We're at 5.3%. Man, I'm telling you, we are getting closer and closer and closer. And we all know right now, if you want to buy a home, your purchasing power has decreased. And that is a big thing for guys. Purchasing power is decreased. You may look at a home that went down $20,000, but if the mortgage rate increased to 6.5% or 5.5% from 2.6%, does the decrease really matter when you have to pay high price in mortgages? No, it does not matter. So let's take a look at some of these states that have high foreclosure rates. California, 1,868. We see Florida, we see Texas, Illinois, Ohio. Illinois, Ohio, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's Illinois. California doesn't surprise me either. But they all have something in common. Well, states especially, it's not California, but Illinois specifically has high property tax. Everybody is evading, no innovation in the state. I live here, so I know that. California, Florida, these are high appreciation areas. People are trying to get away from these areas that have a bunch of people there, right? People want to live there, but it's unaffordable to live there. You have nice beaches, right? You're living on the coast. You're living in these great areas where the weather is always great year around. But it's gonna cost you $1 million to live there, just to buy a 2-bedroom home. A 2-bedroom home is gonna cost you $1 million. Florida, the same way. You try to live somewhere on the coast, try to find a single family home in Miami, in Tampa, in Orlando. You are going to pay a lot of money. The taxes really don't matter at that point when you're paying a lot of money for a home, overpaying for a house, and on top of that, increase insurance, increase gasoline, increased food, and your mortgage is going to be double than what it was a couple of years ago based on the interest rate. While foreclosures in the US were still up in February compared to last year, also in March and April, lenders repossessed 2,632 in the US properties through foreclosures in February. Now, here's the funny thing about that. A lot of these foreclosures, what's not in this data is a lot of investors, a lot of Zillows, BlackRock, and all this other stuff, they buy homes before they even get to that foreclosure level. They see the pre-foreclosures, guys. They see the foreclosures that are going to get there, and they try to send letters and work out deals. And you can see that in that foreclosure.com link that I just talked about earlier. So if you're interested in that, make sure you click that link that's in my description here. But that data is not in here, but it still shows you that 2,600 isn't a lot of foreclosures, right? That went through the whole foreclosure process. But this is where I'm telling you guys where it starts. It starts here at a sprinkle here, right? Then next thing you know, we're carrying out tons and tons and tons of foreclosures that will be happening. And I know a lot of you guys are like, I'm waiting for foreclosures because I'm going to buy up the city. I know that, I know that, but you know, I'm not looking for anybody to get kicked out of their home or anything like that. A foreclosure is a foreclosure, but this information will help you if you are looking to know when this thing is starting. And it's starting, guys. It really is. Once again, guys, I hope you got value out of this content, guys. Once again, this information isn't a doom and gloom. This is information that will allow you to do the research that you need necessary to decide if you want to buy, rent, sell, buy an investment property. All of this information should be used to make a decision on what you're going to do. As always, make sure you do your own research, guys, before you make the biggest purchase of your life, or sell one of the biggest purchases of your life, or buy an investment property, guys. I'm gonna need you to watch this next video here. It will help you learn all about this crazy housing market, get into your first rental property, and as always, look in the description here to join our membership program. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.